Hey, so Cocoabeans, Bakeshop, and Cafe.
Yes, yes.
So what's the deal now? You guys are still rolling along. You are closed indoors for sit down, but you are delivering now.
Great. Yeah, it's the first, I guess, our first opportunity to do some deliveries. We've had to, unfortunately, lay off about 15 staff
Hmm.
due to COVID-19. And so we kind of went, well, now what? How do we continue to keep going? And there are a lot of celiacs out there who still need to eat.
For sure.
And how do we provide product for them? And so we kind of brainstormed and we kind of went, well, what if we offered our own delivery service? Only because, with Skip and all of those others, they take a good chunk um, out of your bottom line. And our customers tend to come from all areas of the city, not
Hmm.
just within 5 to 7 kilometers. So it just meant that they weren't really a good option for us. So we just kind of went, well, what have we got to lose?
I might as well give it a try. And I'm assuming that obviously since it takes a chunk of your business, giving up that part of the bottom line is that much harder now if you go with the
Oh,
delivery service, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure. It really doesn't work for us. We just have such tight margins. And we found that we have tried DoorDash, we have tried Skip, um, and our regular customers were just disappointed because they didn't deliver to the area that they were in, even to say like HSC or different places like that. We have some customers out by the University of Manitoba, and it just doesn't deliver that far. So we kind of went, well, got nothing to lose. It's pretty quiet, and the streets are actually quite nice to drive on right now.
I know they're totally empty.
Yeah, they're so empty. So it could, potentially take way longer. But today, I was out delivering for about 4 hours, and we went to almost all corners of the city. We didn't head out to well, we did actually. We were in EK and NK, not to Transcona, but all the way to Island Lakes and Unicity. Yeah, we just go kind of everywhere within the city that we can reach.
Okay, so what kind of stuff are you guys making? I'm looking at this kind of little frequently asked questions thing, your COVID-19 update on your site, and it has some questions that are good here that you can answer here, that people can know. Okay, so are you still baking bread?
We are, yes, absolutely. Bread, buns, muffins, cookies. Uh, we're even doing a few cupcakes here and there, but we've had to lay off our cake decorators. So we're not making any fancy cakes right now, which is kind of too bad. But then a lot of people aren't celebrating either, right?
Hmm.
So that part, yeah, unfortunately, just doesn't work right now. And then on the kitchen side, we're delivering. All the celiacs love their fried foods. So it's like chicken fingers, onion rings, some cauliflower wings, uh, soups, chili.
Those are the
Was
things typically that celiac couldn't eat, that can't eat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stuff that's hard to find. And we have had some comments that it's getting more difficult to find stuff on the grocery shelves. I personally have not been shopping yet for a while, so it's hard for me to gauge what's in stock and what isn't. But that's just stuff that we're hearing. So I'm not sure if it's just portions of the city or throughout the city. But at some point, yeah, there might be a bit of a shortage. So we'd like to fill that gap.
How is it for you getting the supplies you need in order to make the things you need to make?
Right now, we are doing very well because most of our flowers are imported from other provinces or even from the States. Before Christmas, we usually place big orders of, pelletfuls of flour, and that generally lasts us, 4 to 5, well, 3 to 4 months.
I guess that served you well now, right? Ordering in those big.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the hardest part, for restaurants and for other places that are similar to ours, January, February, March tend to be our slowest months.
Mhm.
And so we're already a little bit behind in some of our, well, our bank accounts often aren't where we'd like to see them. And so having the COVID-19 just makes it that much more difficult to stay in business. And so we have so far, cross our fingers, not had any trouble getting supplies. So that's good. Yeah, what will happen in the next, couple weeks, I'm not sure. So yeah, we just kind of play everything day by day. And if I don't have to spend money, I'd rather not, because I mean, as you can imagine, a pellet of flour can be anywhere from $3,000-4,000.
Wow. Holy
Yeah.
smokers.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you're putting out a lot of cash up front. And so I've got a place that I store it. And so right now I've got probably 2.5 pallets of product. So we should be in good shape. But yeah, you just never know.
Right. I guess as far as making and preparing the food, you guys have been experts at making sure things don't get cross-contaminated in the first place. Like as far as a high standard of cleanliness, that's always been your standard. So it's not like that's changed at all, right?
No, not at all. In fact, it's funny when we get the information through the various channels, whether it's provincial government or just even the Manitoba Restaurant Association. Those are measures that we've had in place since we opened up, just because of the nature of our customers and our business. We have to be extremely careful. Everything we bring in is gluten-free. It's either coming from a certified source, or we have done our due diligence, making sure that product is not being produced on the same line as flour-based products, wheat, rye, or barley. So that allows some level of comfort there. But then, we'll have people with other allergies. And so we take the extra steps of, rather than baking cookies straight on a baking sheet, we're using parchment paper. So we go through a fair amount of parchment just because we are trying really hard not to have cross-contamination, even from gluten-free ingredients, say to peanuts, to, we have people with egg allergies, all of those different kind of allergens. So yeah, that's huge for us to make sure it's all looked after.
I don't know how you guys do that. There's two things I don't understand in this world. One is how you do what you do without cross-contaminating so many things. There's people with so many different allergies in this world. It's insane. So I don't
Yeah.
know how you cater to so many of them. Number two is I've never understood parchment paper. How it just doesn't catch on fire when when it's in the oven.
I guess the baking point is low enough that it doesn't catch on fire, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, my mom always uses it. Always used it when I was a kid, and I always thought, how can you put that in there? She would just say,
Yeah, I think
"Don't worry
if you
about it,
go
buddy."
like 450 or something like that, it'll start to char a little bit, but we don't bake that high, so we're good.
How do people order off you? Like, what's the whole process to order food, and how do they know how do they find out what you're making that do? Is it usually the same things that you are consistently supplying, or do you change or have specials, or how is this working?
Yeah, for right now, just because we just completed day 2 of our deliveries. We're doing deliveries Wednesday and Friday.
And it's
And
you. It's you. You are
it's me. Yeah, you get me. Um, although, today I had to enlist the help of my husband and one of our staff, because we had something like 28 houses to deliver to.
wow.
So that was pretty exciting.
That is that's good. That's good business for right now, man. People. Well, there's lots of people who
Yeah,
need your kind of food, right?
yeah, we couldn't do it without. Well, and in fact, we put the call out on Monday, I had a bit of a meltdown, I guess, just because, you know, I was just overwhelmed with all the bills that were coming in and the bills that are due at the end of the month, and wondering how I'm going to pay all of these things off. And so we have a really loyal following on Instagram and Facebook, and I just put it out there and I went, people, like, I want to stay in business. I want to be there for you, but I need you to place some orders. Otherwise, we're closing. And people really stepped up, which we were very pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. I hope it continues. But so right now we are accepting orders online. I am not a web designer. And it's pretty basic, and I think there might be a few glitches still. So if people would have some patience with that, that would be wonderful. And they have been very, very good about it. And so, we're trying really, really hard to have a consistent stream of items. Like from the bakery, we're offering mostly, you know, the breads, the muffins, cookies, pot pies, those kinds of things. So those are always standard. And then from the kitchen, you know, the items I mentioned before are standard. And then I think once we really get rolling, I'd love to do like a picnic basket kind of idea where you get a loaf of bread, 2 different kinds of fillings, maybe some veggies and dip, that kind of thing. We do have a pizza night on Fridays where you can order, a 12-inch pizza where all of our crusts come par-baked. So really all you have to do is warm it up and melt the cheese kind of thing. And it comes with a salad, and it's good for about a family of 2 to 4, depending if, you know, how much people eat. So we're trying to come up with some creative ways to get people on board. So we've had that. We've had, we asked people to share. So people have been very generously sharing our posts throughout Instagram, Facebook. We're on Google. If you can't, if the website is a little too challenging, we accept phone orders, and then we just ask people to prepay so that we can do contactless delivery, or you can come to the shop and give us a call when you arrive, and we're happy to run it out to you. Or if you want to brave coming inside, we've got that option too. But we just like to get everything prepaid so we don't have to worry about handling the cash, handling anything more than we have to.
100%. It's convenient in many ways for both of you, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right? You get paid, and you can deliver the goods without any problems, and no one has to, like you said, no one has to touch anything. Basically, put your food there, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And we've had quite a few people requesting just drop it at the door. So we'll ring the doorbell or knock on the door, and just kind of listen to see if somebody's coming. And then at that point, scoot away, and at a safe distance. I always try to hang around and say a big thank you. And, we appreciate your order. And, I don't take any of that for granted. It's a tough, we're all in a tough situation. And if I can help out in any way, that's certainly what I want to do.
I just want to say, for one thing, I know people may think, of course, you're a gluten-free bake shop, but for those who haven't tried it, who don't have to eat gluten-free stuff, like it's phenomenal stuff, whether you have to eat gluten-free or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. We delivered to actually my neighbor across the street. She received some of a delivery, and she said, "Wow, is your bread ever good?"
Who knew?
And I was like, it is. It's, and it's gluten-free, dairy-free, or you can do a gluten-free vegan sourdough. And most people, maybe the texture is a little bit different, or the taste is a little bit different, but it's very good.
Right. It's not different bad. It's not different
No,
cardboard. It's just
exactly.
maybe a bit different, but it's a
Yeah,
different good taste, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. In fact, we have people that go, well, I don't even need to eat this way, but I really love your bread, so I want to support you. Or anything that we make. I delivered some onion rings to somebody that is not gluten-free at all, and they were just so thrilled. And I said, thank you, for placing that order. And I know you don't have to eat this way, but we appreciate every order that comes in.
Well, I hope they keep coming, because if your doors close, that would be a huge loss to a
Yeah,
lot of people, right?
yeah. And you know what? I've worked for 10 years at this, and I'm not going down without a fight.
I can't imagine that you would.
No,
Not at all.
no, that's not my style. And my style is, there's always got to be a way. I just got to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's not like you're not used to challenges. This is just
No.
another. And once it's over, I think everybody will appreciate everyone appreciates what we had. Once it's back,
Yeah.
everyone will really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be really good. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that anyway. And actually
Yeah.
talk
Me.
to people in person.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's so funny because I'm such a, um, I'm such a people person, and I've had to tell myself, just hang back, because, I love to chat with anybody, everybody, and just see how they're doing, all of that. And now is not the time. So I just have to restrain myself a bit.
No, I'm the same way. It's
Yeah.
second nature for me to go up and talk to people and, hey, how you doing? And I feel bad, like I'm snubbing them because
I
I'm just
know, I
talking to them
know.
from a distance. I feel like I'm being rude, but you
Yeah.
kind of have to get it in your head that no, that's what you got to do for now,
Yeah.
so you get through this, and then we'll get back to
Yeah,
the old way.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for coming on tonight, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us, or thanks for having me and Cocoabeans, and look
I'm enjoying
forward
your
to.
family pictures behind you, just so you know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, people, I'm just like everybody else. I just keep plugging away, and hope for a really positive outcome. And yeah, our hearts and our prayers are with the various, people who in our industry, we see a lot of people with autoimmune diseases, and we want them to stay safe. We want them to take care, and doing a contactless delivery for folks who, it's a little more, I don't want to say dangerous, but it's a little more, boy, what's the right word? A little more challenging for them to go out and to feel comfortable when you don't know, when you run into somebody, if they may not have the COVID-19, but they may be a carrier.
Right. So they're
And
always on high alert. You know what I mean? They can't relax. They go out
exactly.
or they can't
Yeah.
relax. Right.
Yeah. So meeting those needs too. And there's, in the celiac community, once you have one autoimmune disease, often you get paired with a couple. And so that just makes it trickier. So yeah, please let people know that we're open, for limited service, and we'd love to help them out.